Hey guys, so for your first assignment, for your first homework assignment without me, I would like you guys to pick some candy that you like or food. I've had people do donuts, plates of spaghetti, tacos, my gosh, hamburgers. But I want you to pick something that's not fruit because we're going to do that later in this semester anyway. So have fun with this. So I went to the candy shop, if you can see all my candies, and I actually got this for another drawing that I was gonna do. If you've seen my Instagram, I love drawing food and candy. So I don't normally have all this candy around, but I kind of laid this all out to kind of evaluate what a good composition I could make out of what I had at home. So right now for this, I don't want to do too much. I want to understand the pencils and the tools that I bought. So I would pick something like, maybe one rock candy. If I was going to do these twisty little candies, maybe two of them and set them up in a cool way. Maybe untwist them a little bit. I love the shiny wrappers. We're going to work and talk about metal, drawing metal, metallic things later. That could be great. Maybe one of these dum-dum suckers. And the twists and the wrappers are really great. So maybe just kind of accentuating that. And I think that's what I'm going to do today. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, you have to really evaluate what you pick to draw. These don't have text on them, but the dum-dum sucker does. And, you have to be okay with sketching that out and taking your time. Just being aware of what you're drawing, what you're setting yourself up for. Okay, so if you're doing some text and some really wrinkly item, then one item is okay. Like a plate of spaghetti, wow, that's going to be amazing. Like all those noodles and such, the tacos, the cheese, or the meat in the tacos, like you could be really detailed with that. But if you're doing just like one of these guys, maybe make it a little bit bigger, or put two down. For the crinkly metallic, maybe you do put two down. I don't want you guys to spend more than a couple hours on this. And I do want you to spend a couple hours on this drawing. But these are just to introduce you to the pencils, really. Okay. So you guys, for light purposes, I am going to ask you to set up your still life on a nice white sheet of paper or table. This is my drafting table. And the pose that you want the sucker to be in, or whatever you are, the spaghetti or whatever. If it's on a plate, that's great. Make sure the lighting is not too dark. And then take your phone or another camera and take a snapshot. Take a couple. That's going to be your drawing reference. So right now my phone is recording this. If it wasn't, I would kind of hover over, take a couple shots, and then save the one I love, and then delete the other ones. So then you download it, email it to yourself, and download it to your computer and draw from that, or download it to the phone that you have and keep that kind of on. We always want to draw from photo references, always. If you're drawing, or from life, you can set it up and have a one session drawing, get up and get a snack, that's fine. But you really want to have a set image because light's going to change and it's going to get more frustrating. And as drawers in the beginning, beginning drawers, we want to make this as easy as possible. So quickly, because this is your first, I'm going to take a little bit of time to introduce how I want you to sketch this piece out. I'm going to take my H pencil. And again, all these videos get a little bit tiring, I know, but it's great because you can reference it again. So you guys want to want like I said before in the first day, a pencil sharpener. Electric pencil sharpeners are my favorite. This is a handheld. So you'll see me use both during the class. Whatever you can get, Target has some really cheap ones. Erasers, I love these little pen erasers. I have two of them here. And then some blending stumps or tarlatins. So you can get these are really cheap. All they really are rolled up pieces of paper and no, you can't make them. They're soft paper that really blends nicely. So if you take your value scale, you may want to do this before you start your drawing, and rub it over the values that you made, you'll see them all blend together. And to clean them, you just kind of go to, and I don't have another piece of paper with me, but on the side, I'm just kind of rubbing out the excess, or you can use that excess value on a drawing that you're working on, right? Not wasting that pigment that you put down. Everybody loves these guys. So you're gonna get a pack of like 5 of them that's gonna last you the whole semester for really cheap. This is a must. Okay. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your H or 2H pencil, whatever you have, and you're gonna lightly sketch, not pressing hard, all the things of your food or candy item. Wrinkles, crinkles, text if you have them, noodles. Okay? And don't be scared to sketch. If you start lightly, you can erase. Right? Don't be scared to erase. The eraser was made from mistakes, right? There's no harm in it. I erase all the time. Yeah, so have fun with the sketch and noticing. And that's something I really want you guys to see in this first couple weeks, is notice everything that you're drawing, all that detail. Okay. Oops, I made a mistake, so I'm gonna erase right now. Clean my eraser with an extra piece of paper. Okay, whoops, my dum-dum sucker moved. And with my my H pencil, this is not a 2H, this is H. Easy peasy. I'm going to kind of start initiating the stick of the sucker. And so again, the cool thing is starting light. You can erase. If you start too dark, the pigment of your graphite is going to stain the paper, and it's going to be harder to erase. Now that doesn't matter when you work the pencils up, because when you go to erase that value, you're going to put some on top or blend it through. So it's going to hide those eraser marks. At this stage, if you erase, it's not that big of a deal. So, you know, my stick is a little wobbly, so I'm going to kind of erase one side. I think his bottom paper is a little too long. I'm just going to bring that up and then straighten out that stick. Okay. And if you're okay at the basic shapes, you know, and you feel comfortable, you can start doing some more of the details. So if you have the meatballs, you can kind of look at all the the bumps in the meatball, the little flecks of tomato in the sauce, or whatever. I think I'm going back to the plate of spaghetti, because everybody's always asked me to draw a plate of spaghetti, and I have a couple students that have done it, and I'm a little intimidated. So if anybody does that, it's extra credit, I think. So So I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but at this point I would start copying and mimicking the text of the Dum Dum Sucker, which is hard because it's all machine made, okay? But you want your viewers to know what you're drawing. Okay. I'm going to stop there with detail and then start talking about working out this pencil. So I asked you guys to take 3 pencils that you like. So I am going to take my H2B and 6B for this drawing. And this is just me randomly picking because I like, you know, a 5B is my favorite. It's gone. I used the whole pencil in another drawing, so you can tell. Sharpening these pencils, make sure you have sharp pencils. And at this point, I would say, okay, where I see some darker areas, maybe start cross-hatching through some of that value on that sucker. And again, if you make a mistake, it's okay. You get too dark, wipe it away, erase it away. And you might want to anyways, because sometimes we see value in, darker areas. And sometimes it's white, so it's really hard to see anything. But less sometimes is more. So don't be afraid to see those values in the crinkles, or really squint your eyes and see all the values that pop up. And you don't need to have value everywhere. If you see a white areas that are really pure and bright, keep them to paper. That paper brightness is always going to be the paper. You're going to keep it white. You're like, how am I going to do that? Everything gets so smeary. Yeah, if you're afraid of smearing, you can take a paper towel. I like Viva paper towels are my favorite because they don't have little patterns on them. And then put them right under your hand, or on top of what you're drawing so that it doesn't smear. Okay. So now you're going to see some form that I'm bringing out. I see a cast shadow. Cast shadow is the dark areas underneath a form or object that you are drawing. It kind of reverberates out. Really cool. This, like, I'm really up to into the shadow of this sucker. You know, there's, if you can see, maybe you guys can't, but underneath there's like almost a rainbow of pink to darker shadow or to lighter shadows. So pink, black, or gray to a really, really light. And it's kind of making this reverberation. So I would love to get that with my pencils. But today I think, you know, as much detail as you can get. And as you work, you can take your blending stumps. If it looks a little bit too choppy, start blending through. If you blend a little bit too much or get a little bit too dark, you can erase away. Paper towel, wipe it, and then start drawing and working up that area again. And right now I'm focusing on one area. I think we learn a lot by doing and trying the pencils and the materials ourselves. And I'm going to try a little bit of my 6B. If you don't see a need for a dark pencil, it's okay. Put a little bit of that down. It scared me a little bit. I'm going to wipe off my blending stump, my paper towel, and start blending it on top of that 2B and the H pencil that I put down. Okay. So I think you guys are kind of getting what I want you guys to do this week for homework. And of course, this is going to go into what we're going to do for the rest of the semester, is blending values, working value in structure and proportions. So this does need to be a whole done finished piece. And as you are working, I do want each of you to be mindful about what timelines you have and how you can fit this in. So set up yourself, maybe there's a desk on the floor, go get a really, really cheap smooth board at Home Depot. So you have somewhere to work. I've done that so many times. You can come back and forth, but I always think that this drawing, a couple hours, and finish to your best, and you can present it to the class. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys draw and feel these materials out in this first homework assignment.